since before the game launched. I remember him just like tweeting about, you know, how good he thought Palu was when the game dropped and stuff, and he just sort of never went away. You know, a former Shoto player on top of that, gonna face off against Gooby right here in the Bayonetta. Bayonetta, of course, a little bit of a hollow shell of her former self, not to sleep on this character at all. The punish game is still immaculate on the part of her. She still can roof you if you don't know what you're doing against it, and that recovery is just about second to none. But is that going to go up against the Goddess of Light, especially this Goddess of Light, who might just zero to death this Umber Witch right now with the way that he's playing? Is the second Flare Blitz not going to come out this time around?
I mean, you can sit in camp with this character. Jen does not sit in camp with this character.
No.
They're going to be in your face, and eventually that twist is going to break up the attempt at a 0 to death. Gooby cannot just be playing for respectability here. However, you got to go up against a character who, against an individual who top 8'd one of the very first majors that this game saw. Let's Make Moves in that little gym in New Jersey, you know, where we saw how the meta was going to play out. We saw so many Robs, we saw so many Palus, not as many Bayonettas, and Jen showing they are just as good as they used to be. However, if they are able to make it back, Gooby beautifully placed with the back air and is still taking advantage. Jen's simply not able to land and will not be able to. Gooby getting it right back. And Gooby trying to show that they belong with some of Tri-State's finest.
Yeah, Jen did what he had to do there off the level right there for sure. Like, he saved his double. He was getting witch twisted by Bayonetta. You got to save your jump when that happens. You don't want to try to waste your jump in between the hits of that, otherwise she'll just gimp you at all sorts of grimy percents. It would have been a forward air off the side for sure. But this time, saving it instead, definitely not off the top. The percentage is not high enough this time around for sure. But a beautiful close-up side B right there to combo into the up air. Beautiful stuff. What? Beautiful stuff on the part of Jen to get this, to get that stock once again with the close-up side B. Beautiful stuff. And now just using it once again in neutral, baiting out the bad options. But that is a projectile.
Beautiful.
That is a projectile, which the down B will do that.
Yeah, no, I mean, Gooby was able to react to that. Jen.
Which time, baby? Which time?
Yeah, I mean, not quite as broken as it was in Smash 4, was it? But nevertheless, going to work out just fine and serve its purpose.
I love how he just ducked under the guns right there.
Yeah, I like how Jen just ducked under the guns and Gooby just couldn't. But
I also love how he's respecting him at the ledge when he has to. The hitbox of ABK in the air like that, it's huge. Down tilt's not going to be able to really beat that out. He's spacing right behind Witch Twist by the ledge because, like, the perfect distance where he knows that he can, and he's not doing that down tilt ledge stuff when he ABKs there instead because he knows that's going to beat that out every time, and then he'll just get a huge. He knows that Gooby will get a huge punish for it underneath though, up tilt.
And we saw Jen slowing down the game, not realizing there really is no rush here. We don't need to, you know, do everything super fancy, super aggressive. The veteran presence that Jen has become, you know, former just absolute young prodigy. Now a little more hair on their face, a little more wisdom in their brain, and realizing, okay, I don't have to, you know, go 150 miles an hour here. All I need to do is just get that one little pop. That platform's right there. I can combo right into it, and all it takes from there is up tilt to kill.
Yeah, man. The secret is the secret's honestly all in the beard, my friend. And it's like that's just how you get your smarts. And I think a lot of these Smash players just don't have beards, and I think that's why that, you know, some of them may not be as good as the game that they would like to be. But we on Hollow Bastion.
If you're wondering why Light made it to Grand Slam.
Oh, that's facts. I forgot. His beard is so much bigger than it used to be.
Absolutely.
Yeah, here you go. This is where Gooby decided to take Jen for this game number 2. Hollow Bastion, definitely some different blast zones. And I think he's might be electing to go here because it's definitely going to be a different type of neutral. He'll have an easier time playing underneath the one platform right here, or just having a more overwhelming in-your-face game that Bayonetta can have to do, because that platform is just, it's in that Smashville perfect awkward spot to the point where you in disadvantage are going to have a much, much harder time getting down. And I think that's coming back to bite him in the ass right now, because the first stock is going to be going to Jen off the top with that up air right there. That high disadvantage doesn't matter if you're not able to get down against your opponent in the first place.
Yeah, and again, the grappling game of Jen, nothing to be slept upon. The fact that Palutena just gets grabs so freely, and it never really got nerfed all that much. It's just
The grab range did, but, you know, besides, and, you know, like, you know, the 50-50s are a little bit different than they used to be, but, you know, it doesn't matter too much at the end of the day because Palutena still has the insane punish game that she's got.
you are going to see something absolutely nasty from Jen if they are able to get Gooby off of the stage because they are conditioning Gooby to not go for ledge. You see that placement of the fire right about at ledge level, trying to make them go above. You're eventually going to see them try to get, I feel like it's going to be an up smash or something along those lines. I don't feel like that's going to be necessarily true, like even at like 120%, because you just get to do stuff like that if you're able to catch out the landing. But right now, I mean, if Gooby is not careful, they're going to fall victim to that because you're seeing how Jen is trying to condition their recoveries.
See, that's the new age Palu stuff that we saw right there. After Palutena's nerfs, is getting that little pop-up with the neutral air to kill confirm into the up tilt.
Yeah.
That was not something that Palutena, she could do, but she never had to do that. You know,
right.
she would
Why
kill you
do
with the
that
back
when
throw.
you can simply, you know, put the wheel up, you know, 5 times in a row?
Reject neutral air, return to back air. That's
Yeah.
what it used to be, but now Jen, you know, being the smart player that he is, knowing to go for stuff like that he can, you know, he's still stuck tried and true with this character despite everything she's been through, but Palutena, still one of this game's higher tier forces to be reckoned with, as you can see, all over Gooby in this final game, utilizing his own counter pick against him with the way that he's been teleport canceling against that stage, using the side B to ensure that he doesn't have an easy time getting back to stage, living forward throw in the middle of the stage, but the guns are going to do it this time.
Yeah. I mean, you can see it just in terms of when with the Mexican invasion that has been happening throughout the higher levels of this game. I mean, certainly MK Leo, but you know, joining them among them Meister. You know, the journey of Spargo from contender to champion finally being completed last week, and that's not even to say, you know, people like OG Mustaine who are so good with characters like Terry and the other Shotos.
Yeah.
Among those people are Chag, who's been doing so well with Palutena and is just as much a contender as anybody else. I mean, this is, like, that character is not going anywhere.
No, absolutely
It's still
not.
just as good. It's still a top tier. And we certainly have people that that play it locally like Jen to prove as such and to completely nullify the game plan of talented individuals like Gooby, but are simply not ready to contend with people, with veterans like Jen just yet.
I know the hair is green, but is that the Smash 4 Luigi that we just saw?